Don't bury your loved one outside the home of your ancestors, except the person's body could not be found. The person died during Corona. It can be understandable. Then you can be booking mass for him or her. Do you know that someone that died can be consulted and that person will talk? The church did not teach it. It is not right. It is a sin to us, Christians. But these things happened. In the book of 1 Samuel 28, if you read 11, you will know that great Samuel died and the Saul invoked his spirit. The spirit of Samuel came out and read it, please. Read it before I conclude this message now.
1 Samuel 28.
1 Samuel 28, 11, following.
Whom shall I call up for you?
The
woman asked.
Saul went to a fortune teller. Saul went to a native doctor. Saul went to a native doctor to invoke the spirit of death in order for him to ask the dead something. Saul wanted to find out what is happening in his kingdom from Samuel late. That time Samuel have died. It was a native doctor, demonically. It is not divine practices, but they invoke. It may not be native doctor, the kind of one we have here, but the astral protection, this thing. They invoke the spirit of Samuel. Samuel came out and was talking.
Samuel, he answered.
The Saul went and asked a woman. What did the Bible call that woman? Read the place. Start afresh.
Whom shall I call up for you? The woman asked.
The woman that Saul went to ask.
Samuel, he answered. When the woman saw Samuel, she screamed and said to Saul, Why have you tricked me? You are King Saul.
You are King Saul.
Don't be afraid, the king said to her. What do you see?
What do you see?
I see a spirit coming up from the earth. She
I
answered.
see the spirit coming up from the earth.
What does it look like? He asked.
Who does he look like?
It's an old man coming up.
Is an old man coming up from the ground.
She answered.
She answered.
He is wearing a cloak.
He's wearing a cloak.
Then Saul knew that it was Samuel.
Then Saul knew it was late Samuel.
And he bowed to the ground in respect.
He bowed down to Samuel. Samuel have died, but they wake his spirit.
Samuel said to Saul.
Samuel said to Saul,
Why have you disturbed me?
Why are you disturbing me? That is late Samuel was talking to Saul. Why do you call my spirit out? Why are you disturbing me?
Why did you make me come back?
Why do you make me come back?
Saul answered.
Saul answered.
I am in great trouble.
I am in great trouble.
The Philistines are at war with me.
The Philistines are at war with me.
And God has abandoned me.
And God have abandoned me.
He doesn't answer me anymore.
He doesn't answer me anymore.
Either by prophets or by dreams.
Either by dream or by prophets.
And so I have called you.
I have called you out.
For you to tell me what I must do.
Tell me what I must do.
Samuel said.
Samuel said.
Why do you call me when the Lord has abandoned you?
Why do you call my spirit? Are you not aware the Lord has abandoned you?
And become your enemy. The Lord has done to you what he told you through me. He has taken the kingdom away from you and given it to David instead.
Who was passing this message to Saul?
Samuel, late
Samuel, who have died. Now, there are things I don't like to teach you because it won't make sense to you. Now, because we are not matured to hear it. It's like lecturing a primary school student, university subject. He won't understand it. St. Paul said there is a time to feed a child with milk, and there's a time to give a child fufu. I hear so many of you that said, if I die, I have written my will, bury me in the United States, in England. It will be easy for my children to go and pay attention to my grave. You are speaking out of ignorance. I've heard so many of you, if I die, let me be buried in UK. Buried among who? Buried among who? Do you think that God is stupid? Who made you to come from particular race? Do you think that our fathers are stupid when they have a popular say in Igbo, Nisi Weze had their number. The head of a child of a king cannot be wasted away, cannot be in a foreign land. The head of a child of a king can never be buried anywhere. Other people that died in Egypt were buried in Egypt. But these great kings, this powerful Jacob and powerful Joseph, refused that. Why did they invoke spirit of Samuel? And Samuel came out from the ground where they buried him and was speaking to the living. There is so many things about death. That your father you think that is dead. That is how they will call him. He will come out and be talking. The Bible said that when Jesus died, I'm telling you that this message is controversial. But there are things I need to be letting you know. When Jesus died, the Bible says immediately he died and buried. So many God's people that died came back to life. There are so many things about death. This person in as a son name here, ebe kono. Where is that person? Years ago, I went to a family, a man that caused his family, a man that caused his children. Years ago, when I was in the desert, I went to a family, a man that married two wives, the whole children. This one thought he loved the other one more than them. This one's believe he loved. So they abandoned their father. Their father was on top of, he was a wine tapper when he was alive. The man died tapping. But before, one day he was tapping wine and caused the children because they don't look after him. One of the son came here, both the children from the first one and second one, all of them are useless. One of the son begged me to come to the father's house. Then I used to have chance and I followed him. When I went there, the Lord was pointing me to where they buried that man. I went and I stood on the grave where I have never been in that family before. The Lord pointed. The Lord pointed that place where they buried him. I was asking the boys, "What is special about here?" I started. The boy told me, "This is where they buried my father." There was no sign of anything buried there because grasses has grown there. The land, the sand has been leveled. They already farming around it. Nothing special. But the Lord pointed me that I should go to the grave of that man. And I stood on the grave. I did 5 to 10 decades of rosary, going round of the grave, begging Our Lady. And at the end, I picked the sand. I turned it 7 times according to instruction after my rosary procession on the grave. Pleaded God's mercy. And the curse the man placed upon the children were broken. Then the children started doing well again. Don't bury your loved one outside the home of your ancestors, except the person's body could not be found. The person died during Corona. It can be understandable. Then you can be booking mass for him or her. So many of you that say, "Oh, if I die, bury me in United States, where my children," you are ignorant. If they buried you in your father's house in the village, it will even make your children to be coming there. If they love you, to come and know where they buried you, where you come from. How can you bury it? Don't you know that the spirits in people are different? God who created race different. There are things I will have tell you, but because you wouldn't understand it, I won't tell you. Pray to God to give you wisdom and knowledge. Alabuofu. Don't bury a black man among the white people.